Good morning, dear students. Now we see Standard 7th Science Unit 2 Universe and Space. Starry night sky is a wonder which has fascinated humans from time immemorial. Our ancestors have observed and documented the objects seen in the night sky. The field of study of universe is called astronomy. We know that there are billions and billions of stars in the universe, although only about 2000 or so are visible to naked eye. Have you ever think of the size of our universe? The universe is unimaginably and infinitely big. Universe is commonly defined as the totality of everything that exists or is known to exist. The universe consists of galaxies, planets, stars, meteorites, satellites, and all other forms of matter and energy. And it is a world of wonder. Let us move into the world of wonder to know more interesting facts about the place of residence of our solar system. Now we learn about the geocentric theory. Sky is a wonder. Sun, moon, stars, all appear to rise in the east and move towards the west, giving us an impression that all these objects are going around the earth. Earth is spinning, and that is why sun, moon, and stars appear to go around the earth. Does the earth revolve around the sun, or the sun revolve around the earth? How do you know about it? When you look at night sky, you can see a lot of twinkling objects, but a few of them differ from other. They don't twinkle, and while the other stars hold a fixed pattern from night to night, these drift. They wander across the sky, moving against the backdrop of stars. These are called planets. Our ancestors observed this and they imagined a universe with the earth at the center, the stars in the distant background, and the sun, moon, and the planets orbiting around us. Two observations supported the idea that the earth was at the center of the universe. First, from anywhere on the earth, the sun appears to revolve around the earth once in a day. And the second one is the earth seems to be unmoving from the perspective of an earthbound observer. It feels stationary. As civilization progressed, the early astronomers found two types of motion of celestial objects. Let us take the case of moon. On a daily basis, moon appears to rise in the east and set in the west. Thus, one can say that moon is going around the earth with a period of one day. But for a careful observer, it was clear that the moon was also exhibiting another motion. Suppose the moon is appearing in the sky today near star Aswini. Tomorrow we will observe that the moon is near star Bharani, a star east of Aswini, and the next day it will be near the star Kartikeya, east of Bharani. After 27 days moving little by little eastwards, the moon again stations itself near Aswini. Thus, every day moon appears to move from east to west in one day, whereas it appears to go in a circle from west to east in the background of stars in about 27 days. Thus, the geocentric model, that is a description of the universe with the spherical and spinning earth at the center of the sun, moon, stars, and planets, all orbits the earth emerged in various cultures. Now, we'll learn about the how moon exhibit phases. Astronomers in ancient times also observed certain facts. The Puranandru of Sangam literature, the poet Scarlett Leah singing in appreciation of Chairman Perinchir Lawton says, one on the day when the moon appears, the sun and moon look at each other with their bright light. In the evening time, on pure heights behind the mountains. On the full moon day, when the sun is setting in the west, precisely at the same time moon rises at the east. That is, both the sun and moon are in the opposite side. Likewise, when it is waning half moon, the moon is rise when it is midnight, and the waxing half moon rises during noon. From which such observations and modeling ancient astronomers could explain why we have waxing and waning of moon. As shown in the above diagram, when the moon is positioned between the earth and sun, notice all the illuminated part of the moon is away from earth. Hence, we cannot see any part of the illuminated side of the moon. Only the dark side of the moon is towards the earth. When the moon is in the position, we have new moon. New look at the moon when it is behind the earth. Now the portion of moon illuminated by sun is totally towards the earth. The dark side is away from the earth. This means moon will appear to be round in the sky. This is full moon. When the sun, earth and the moon are in 90-degree angle, how will the moon appear to the person on the surface of the earth? Now if you look at the portion of moon facing earth, we will see half of it illuminated and half as dark side. Thus the moon will appear as half moon. The half moon during the waxing period is called the first quarter, and the half moon during the waning period is called the third quarter. Now we'll see about the epicycles. Moon going around Earth with the 27 period nicely explain its motion. However, astronomers in ancient times faced problems in explaining the motion of the known five planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Moon in the background of stars. Moon every day eastwards nicely. However, for example, if we were observing the motion of Mars from January, it would appear to move eastward in the background stars. That is, the position of the Mars today will be near a star which is east of the star near which is yesterday. However, on June 28, we will see the change. From that date, the Mars would appear to move west rather than its normal eastward motion. This reversal of direction of planets is called retrograde motion. If we continue to observe on August 28 once again, the Mars would appear to reverse the direction and again on its usual eastward motion in the celestial sphere. Usually, Jupiter is brighter than Mars. However, around the period of retrograde motion, the Mars was much brighter than other times, even brighter than Jupiter. To explain the puzzling phenomena, astronomers in early times proposed a change in the simple geographic model. This model is called epicycle model. Now we will see about the arrival of telescope. Telescope was invented by Hans Lippershey, but Galileo used it for studying the sky for the first time. The telescope showed more universe than visible to the naked eye. With a simple telescope matching toy telescope of today, Galileo was able to see mountains on the moon, small dim stars visible to naked eye, sunspots on the face of sun. He was able to demonstrate that the Milky Way, an hazy bright patch in the sky, is nothing but thousands of stars huddled together. Jupiter had moons going around it, and Saturn had mysterious appendage which we know as rings. One of the most startling observations he made was related to telescope observation of Venus. This convinced him to accept the theory of the Polish astronomer. Nicolaus Copernicus that it is not sun, planets, and stars that go around Earth, but it is the Earth and other planets that go around the sun. Heliocentric theory. Now we will see about the heliocentric model. Dissatisfied with the messy episcopal model, Nicolaus Copernicus radically proposed that the model will become simple if we assume Sun is at the center and all planets including Earth go around it. Suppose Earth and Mars are on the two sides of the Sun, then Mars would be far and appear dim compared to when they are on the same side. Earth orbit around the Sun in 365 days, whereas the Mars takes 687 days. This implies at times Earth will overtake Mars. When the Earth is approaching and overtaking Mars, the Mars would appear to exhibit retrograde motion. In short, all the observed phenomena could be explained in the simple way. Now we will know about the origin of universe. Sun is a star with a planetary system. Billions of such stars constitute a system called the name. Billions of such stars constitute a system called as galaxy. The name of our galaxy is Milky Way. Like Milky Way, there are at least hundreds of billions of galaxies in the universe. How did all these come about? Were they in existence always or was the beginning? When we observed other galaxies, we found a strange behavior. All the galaxies were appearing to move away from us. Further, farther they or faster they appear to move. Cosmologists, scientists who study the structure and evolution of universe, that is cosmos, a reason that is imply at one point of the time in the past all matter was confined in a single point and since then it has started to expand. Now we will see about the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory is the prevailing model of the evolution of the universe. Under this theory, space and time emerged together about 14 billion of years ago. At that time, the entire universe was inside a bubble that was thousands of times smaller than a pinhead. It was hotter and denser than anything we can imagine. Then it suddenly expanded. The present universe emerged. Time, space, and matter all began with the Big Bang. In a fraction of a second, the universe grew from smaller than a single atom to bigger than a galaxy. And it kept on growing at a fantastic rate. It is still expanding today. Over the next 3 minutes, the temperature dropped below 1 billion degrees Celsius. After 3 lakh years, the universe had cooled about 3000 degrees. Atomic nuclei could finally capture electrons to form atoms. At that stage of evolution of the universe, it was filled with clouds of hydrogen and helium gas. Giant clouds of hydrogen and helium were gradually drawn to the places where dark matter was most dense, forming the first galaxies, stars, and everything else seen today. As millions of years pass, the dense areas pull in materials because they had more gravity. Finally, about 100 million years after the Big Bang, the gas became hot and dense enough for the first stars to form. New stars were being born at the rate 10 times higher than in the present day universe. Large clusters of stars soon became the first galaxies. The Hubble Space Telescope and powerful ground-based telescopes are now beginning to find galaxies that were created about 1 billion years after the Big Bang. These small galaxies were much closer together than galaxies are today. Collisions were common, like two flames moving towards each other. They merged into bigger galaxies. Our Milky Way galaxy came together in this way. Now we will know about the building block of universe. As stated above, universe is constituted of galaxies, just as a lot of houses in our locality constitute a village or city. We have lot of things such as a room, furniture in our homes. Likewise, lot of stellar objects such as stars, planets, asteroids and meteors are in the building blocks of our universe. Now we know that galaxies. A galaxy is a large collection of stars or cluster of stars and celestial bodies held together by gravitational attraction. There are about billion of galaxies in the universe. As we have different types of houses in the locality, the galaxies are also of different types. Now we see the types of galaxies. Galaxies. There are various types of galaxies such as spiral, elliptical, bird spiral and irregular galaxies. Now the first one is the spiral galaxy. Spiral galaxies consist of the flat, rotating, disk containing stars, gas and dust, and the central concentration of the stars known as the bulge. These are often surrounded by a much fainter or halo of stars. Spiral galaxies are named by their spiral structures that extend from the center into the galactic disk. The spiral arms or sides of ongoing star formation and the brighter than the surrounding disk because of the young, hot stars that inhabit them. Elliptical galaxy. An elliptical galaxy is a type of galaxy having the approximately ellipsoidal shape and the smooth image. Unlike flat spiral galaxies with organization and structure, elliptical galaxies are three-dimensional without much structure and their stars are in somewhat random orbits around the center. Interestingly, stars found inside the elliptical galaxies are on the average much older than stars found in the spiral galaxies. Elliptical galaxies tend to be surrounded by large numbers of globular clusters. Next one is the irregular galaxy. An irregular galaxy is a galaxy that does not have a distinct regular shape. Unlike a spiral or an elliptical galaxy, they are often cactic in appearance with neither a nuclear bulge nor any trace of a spiral arm structure. About one-fourth of the galaxies found so far are this type. Cosmologists say that some irregular galaxies were once spiral or elliptical galaxies but were deformed by an uneven external gravitational force. Irregular galaxies may contain abundant amount of gas and dust. The next last type is barred spiral. A barred spiral galaxy is a spiral galaxy with a central bar-shaped structure composed of stars. Bars are found in approximately two-thirds to one-third of the spiral galaxies. The Milky Way galaxy, where our own solar system is located, is classified as a barred spiral galaxy. Now we will know about the Milky Way. The Milky Way is the galaxy in which our solar system is located. The diameter of Milky Way is 1 lakh light years. The Milky Way includes stars smaller than our Sun as well as many other stars that are thousands of times bigger than that of Sun. It includes many other celestial bodies of gases, clouds of dust, dead stars, newly born stars. It is also thought to contain at least 10 billion stars. The galaxy that is closest to our Milky Way is Andromeda. The descriptive Milky is derived from the appearance from the Earth of the galaxy, a band of light seen in night sky formed from stars that cannot be individually distinguished by the naked eye. In Indian mythology, this patch called as Akshaganga. From the earth, the Milky Way appears as a band because its disc shaped structure is viewed from within. Galileo Galilei first resolved the band of light into individual stars with his telescope in 1610. Until the early 1920s, most astronomers thought that the Milky Way contained all the stars in the universe. Observation by Edwin Hubble showed that the Milky Way is just one of many galaxies. Now we will know about the constellation. A constellation is a recognizable pattern of stars in the night sky when viewed from the Earth. International Astronomical Union has classified 88 constellations to cover the entire celestial sphere. Many of the old constellations have Greek or Latin names and are often named after mythological characters. Origin of Hunter in Greek mythology, the constellation comprises around 81 stars, out of which all but 10 or too faint to be seen with naked eye. Different constellations become visible in the sky at different times in the year. This happened due to the revolution of Earth around the Sun. Unlike galaxy, constellation are mere optical appearance and not real objects. In galaxy, stars are bound to by gravity and constitute a system. In a constellation, one star may be near and another very very far, but because they are in the same direction, appear to be near to each other in the sky. Now we will know about the stars. A star is a luminous heavenly body that radiates energy. With naked eyes, we can see nearly 3000 stars in the night sky and many more with the help of a telescope. The stars are remotely located and appear as tiny dots of light. The light travels long distances to reach us. The atmosphere disturbances do not allow light to reach us in a straight line path. Because of this, the stars appear to twinkle. The sun is the nearest star to the earth. The next nearest star is Alpha Centauri. Now we know about the satellites, an object that revolve around the planet in a stable and consistent orbit is called satellite. Satellites can be classified into two categories, one is natural satellite and the other one is artificial satellite. First one is the natural satellites. All natural objects revolve around a planet or natural satellites. They are also called moons. Most moons are spherical. The ones that are not usually asteroids or meteors that were captured by strong gravity of a planet. All planets except Mercury and Venus in our solar system have moons. Earth has only one moon, whereas planets like Jupiter and Saturn have more than 60 moons. Now we'll know about the artificial satellites. Artificial satellites are man-made objects placed in an orbit to rotate around the planet, usually the Earth. The world's first artificial satellite launched was Sputnik 1 by Russia. Aryabhata was the first satellite launched by India. These satellites are used in television and radio transmission, studying agricultural yield, locating mineral resources, weather forecasting, locate different places on Earth. Now we'll know about ISRO. The Indian Space Research Organization is the space agency of the Government of India headquartered in the city of Bangalore. Its vision is to harness space technology for national development while pursuing space science research and planetary exploration. Formed in 1969, ISRO suppressed the Earth while Indian National Committee for Space Research established in 1962 by the scientist Vikram Sarabhai. The establishment of ISRO thus institutionalized space activities in India. It is managed by the Department of Space, which reports to the Prime Minister of India. ISRO built India's first satellite Aryabhata, which was launched by the Soviet Union on 19th April 1975. It was named after the Indian astronomer Aryabhata in 1980. Rohini became the first satellite to be placed in orbit by an Indian made launch vehicle, SLV 3. ISRO subsequently developed two other rockets, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle for launching satellites into the polar orbits and the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle for placing satellites into geostationary orbits. These rockets have launched numerous communication satellites and Earth observation satellites. Satellite navigation systems like Gagan and IORNSS have been deployed. In January 2014, ISRO used an indigenous cryogenic engine in GSLV D5 launch of GSAT 14. ISRO sent a lunar orbit Chandrayaan 1 on 22nd October 2008 and a Mars Orbiter mission on 5th November 2013, which entered Mars orbit on 24 September 2014, making India the first nation to succeed on its first attempt to Mars, and ISRO the fourth space agency in the world as well as the first space agency in Asia to reach Mars orbit. On 18 June 2016, ISRO set a record with a launch of 20 satellites in the single payload. On 15 February 2017, ISRO launched 104 satellites in a single rocket and created a world record. ISRO launched its heaviest record, Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark III on 5th June 2017 and placed a communication satellite GSAT-19 in orbit. With this launch, ISRO became capable of launching 4-ton heavy satellites. ISRO launched Chandrayaan 2 on July 22, 2019, Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle GSLV Mk3. It entered the moon's orbit on August 20, 2019 and its lander landed on the moon on September 4. Thank you, students.